Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. And this is a pretty big house. The folks who are moving in here, this is a rental. This house apparently has always been a rental. And it kind of looks like it. Although actually, considering it's not that bad, I guess. This is the basement area. It's actually nice and cool down here. I just vacuumed everything very thoroughly. There was no light in here, but fortunately they had a floor lamp they were able to bring in here. So that's working. So that carpet is actually in really good shape. The steps, not looking good. I haven't vacuumed them yet. I vacuumed everything else. But we got a lot of nasty stains on here. That'll be interesting. Yeah, not looking good. And it looks like it's been bleached out. And apparently the carpet was cleaned. Well, that's what they were told anyway. But whoever did it did a terrible job. This is the original carpet, which is 30 years old, I guess, or so. And there's actually quite a few spots, although most of them are kind of really washed out, looking like it was cleaned. And then, stains just didn't come out very well. And it has I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it has a very streaky look to it. So somebody did a less than adequate cleaning job. Yeah, there's a few stains. And it's a little darker on the edges, although not really so much filtration staining, just age, I guess. 30 years. The carpets do fade out. And I think that maybe a little bit of that is a reflection off the walls. Now, by the way, this room is really hot. And the reason it's so hot is because they had somebody in to clean out the air ducts, and they were really filthy apparently. And when they did so, they broke the condenser or something. So there's no air conditioning in here. So it's actually not bad stain-wise, really. But it's, old. We'll turn that one on. So anyway, I did a very, very thorough vacuuming. They're concerned about animal hair, which were told it was cleaned, and then they were, I guess, washing the walls, and they found animal hair, and they showed me a bench out there where it was all covered in animal hair. So clearly there was an animal hair, even though there was supposed to be not an animal hair. That's the way it goes. Renters, they sign a contract saying they won't have an animal, and then they go get an animal as soon as they move in there. That's what my ex-wife did once, much to my dismay. But anyway, that's another story. Okay, now I'm cleaning this with Revive Rocket, 1.5 ounces per gallon, plus I put Nanomax in there, because we're dealing with a lot of just a real blah looking carpet. So I think the peroxide along with the citrus is going to be helpful. And although I don't usually use it, I'm going to use my brush, at least on this part. And the reason I'm using my brush is because, as I say, they were concerned about animal hair. And although the hog's hair fiber pet is very effective at getting out animal hair, my main concern is for why I'm using the brush is because she said that there was hair along the baseboards. Now I vacuumed really well and did with the crevice tool and everything, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to run the brush on this and make sure that I get it right along the edge, because although there's some that will say you can't clean the edge with a rotary, let's see if that's true. Now, as it turns out, that of course isn't true. And I don't know if you can see it, but the brush is literally touching the bottom of the baseboard right now, because it flares out a little bit, and I'm able to literally clean with the brush right along the edge. And that's one of the nice things that, again, makes the rotary such a good choice, because there's so many options, and this is one of the things that I can do. and the brush gets right along the edge so nicely, pulls out hair and crap if it's there, and does a great job. And I'm also the brush, when I use the brush, it will typically penetrate a little bit deeper into the fibers, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to use it on this in this case. It's 30 years old. It's actually, for the age, pretty good, considering, you know. But the carpet kind of does a little dip right over to the laminate there, and the brush conforms to that dip and gets in there really well. So it's nice having choices. Having the option of so many different attachments, and that's one of the reasons I like the rotary. Yeah, it's actually 38 degrees today in Kelowna, I believe. So 30 degrees in here it's not so bad. I'll be doing the upstairs first, and you know, I'm going to get pretty warm doing this, I guess, but at least when I finish the upstairs, I'll be able to go downstairs where it's considerably cooler. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, it looks like it's brightening up pretty nicely here. Again, the brush is going to be able to go 360 degrees on the carpet fiber as I move and oscillate, you know, going left and then going right and then overlapping. Very easy to do. And there's as I say, it looks like they had it cleaned, steam cleaned. I can tell it has that sort of that dingy, blotchy, uneven appearance. There's my van. So this carpet will dry really fast because it's so warm in here. I think what we'll do is I'll run the brush and then I'll come back and run the Iron Man to let it sit for a little while before I actually do the extraction step. I haven't pre-sprayed anything. I did spray a couple of obvious spots, but when I, you know, do the boost it up as much as I've done with this, you know, the radical rinse, which I only use in situations like this normally. I'll mix up. I actually mixed up 2 gallons, nice and hot, and when I went and by the way, there's clumps of hair coming up. But anyway, I mixed it up and let it sit and dissolve in the bucket while I went and vacuumed everything. So, boy, it's pulling out lots of hair. Interesting. Somebody asked me about a CRB and do I like them and recommend them, and hey, if you want to get one, go for it, but I really don't have a use for it. I don't think it's necessary, but you know, I have a brush. I can use this brush whenever I want, and the fiber pads, particularly the dog's hair works extremely well, so I just don't see the use, and I certainly have know all about them. I actually started a company in '86 using CRB systems, so I know what they're how well they work and all. But I have no interest in getting one. If one fell on my lap, I guess I would have it, but I don't have room to carry it really, and I doubt that very much doubt I'd ever use it, or very, very rarely. So you gotta kind of, yeah, I don't have room to carry it anyway. So I mean, I do have the multi-wash, which I could carry if I wanted to. I guess I could probably fit that in, but I just rarely use it. Actually, I remember a few months back there was a job that I was going to do. It was actually in this area. The carpet was really very deteriorated, and I actually think I brought it, and I was intending to use it, but then I got in there and I thought it was just going to be a pain in the butt, another piece of equipment. So I just put the brush on and did what I'm doing right now, and ran over the whole carpet. And it was, again, really tired and badly stained up and everything came up great. I went over it with the brush, and then I did the pads, and it cleaned fine. So yeah, I think you can overthink what you're doing. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't. If you want one and you think that's going to be what you want to use, then by all means. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't plan to ever have one on hand. So, but that's just my view. There's nothing wrong with it. Go and get one if you want. They're not cheap for the good ones, are they? And that's the other thing. I guess the sort of I would say would be a reason to hesitate. But I have the multi-wash, and that actually works really well. But then I put a brush on, and basically it's doing the same thing. It does scrub really well. So anyway, so again, we'll just go around the edge. Actually, I'll go back to the beginning here. I don't know if you can see it, but the brush is flaring out and the bristles are touching the bottom of the baseboard. Actually, yeah, the rent for this house, by the way, is $3,800 a month. Isn't that crazy? I don't know how people can afford that. That's just crazy. You can see the hair collecting on the. It gets thrown up onto the wheel there. It's just flinging hair everywhere. So I will obviously be post vacuuming this, and again, that's another reason why I usually will post vacuum a carpet. There's a little yellow stain right there I just went over. Must have been a cat in here. That's my guess anyway. It is very warm in here, but one of the nice things about using the rotary, back when I used to steam clean, if I was steam cleaning this carpet, pushing the wand back and forth, I'd be sweating. It'd be pouring down my face. Man, I remember when I was steam cleaning, it just when you get hot, wow. Because you're the engine, you're the motor moving that wand back and forth. A lot more energy being expended. With the rotary, you just kind of, I'm just guiding it, so it's doing all the work. Oh, I see a series of paint spots here. Now, you can't do that in every case, because in some carpets something like that would really show up, but this carpet is already so deteriorated that that will definitely not show up, you know, as far as leaving a little indentation. And you notice how carefully I did that. I just tried to just get the paint off the carpet and leave it at that. It looks better. They're not obviously going to be expecting a new carpet out of this, and they know how deteriorated it is already, but I'll make it look good, make it look livable. Yeah. And of course, I'll pick all the little bits up when I do the post vacuuming. Okay, let's go over to the next room. Yeah, this room is really hot. I notice when I use the brush, I do use more solution, because the fiber pad, of course, will hold solution and just spread it a little bit better, so it goes a long way, a longer way. I remember when I first moved to Kelowna, this area that I'm in right now, most of these houses, well, they were in the process of being built when I first moved here 30 years ago. The whole area here is, this is Glenmore, we call this Glenmore Valley. And yeah, all this whole, there were like a few hundred houses here that were, all went up at that time in the early 90s, I guess. This whole area was built. I gotta tell you that I don't like most of these houses. They're just not my style. I mean, there's some nice houses here, but I find a lot of them are just not, and then a lot of them are not well made. They cut a lot of corners on a lot of these. In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, they all had pine shake roofs, And that turned out to be a real disaster. I think that they decided, I don't know, 10 years later that pine shakes were a bad idea for fire. And so a lot of people were, I think, kind of almost compelled to change them out because insurance rates were affected by that and stuff like that. So, but I remember, because there's a couple of places where you can sort of see this valley from up, sort of a road up along the hillside or whatever. You can sort of see this whole area, and I remember you'd look across this whole area, see dozens and dozens of houses with the sort of pale yellow roofs. For the cedar shakes roofs were kind of, when they're newer, they have a sort of a yellowish tinge to them. Overall the carpet is actually not really that soiled, which is a little surprising. It's just that there's quite a few stains, and most of the stains are sort of washed out looking, like it looks like the carpet was clean, but stains weren't very effectively removed. They were diluted looking. Looks to me like I'm going to be having to mix up some more solution or add some more solution. The downstairs is actually, where I showed you downstairs, that carpet looks great, except for the laundry room. It needs a little extra attention too. Actually, there's a rust stain down there I gotta get out. It's already pre-treated, so by the time I get down there and run the machine over it, it'll probably be gone, I expect. Now, one thing I should mention, by the way, the brush that I'm using is actually not a stiff brush. It's a fairly soft brush. It's actually a shampoo brush, but I know some of them are quite stiff. This one's actually pretty soft. And if you're wondering, this brush came from Mastercraft, which is where this machine was originally from. See the name Mastercraft on the back of the motor there? I don't think, I know they don't make this or sell this machine anymore. I assume they sell the brush, but the brush is probably a Malish brush. Malish makes the brushes for most machines. Malish.com, in case you're wondering. Oh, we'll just drop the brush off. You can see how it flares out. Oops. Ah. That's actually a little, is it a fan or an air conditioner? Uh-oh. Power. There we go. I guess it's just a fan. Blowing the hot air everywhere. Oh well, better than nothing, I guess. I see more hair coming out of the carpet. Now I think what I'm going to do, I wasn't sure whether I was going to do what I'm thinking of, but I think I will, because it will benefit from this. When we get back to the living room, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Where am I at? 25 minutes. Okay. I can see a few yellowish looking stains in this room, and I see them when I run over, when the spotlight goes over the carpet. I can see things that I would normally not see, and that's one of the benefits of having this nice powerful LED light. Stains that might be invisible to your eyes, when that light hits it, then you can see them. So that improves the performance of what you're doing. And oh yeah, there was these stains over here, which I did hit with the suspend. There was a couple of kind of really obvious yellowish stains right over here. They look unusual. So making sure I put a little bit more solution there. But there's little clumps of fur or hair or whatever coming up out of this carpet. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's little bits there and over there and right there. So we're pulling out more hair, even though I did vacuum very carefully. Okay, so we'll go back here. And we'll do this as a separate video now. So we'll do the extraction step now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hog's hair fiber pad across the carpet. That's what I figured I would do. It'll only take a minute or two. Not very much area. So we'll see you in the next video. So thanks for watching and have a good day.